What's going on? Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to do Jack from TryHackMe. Jack is a Linux machine and is based on compromising a web server running WordPress, obtaining a low-privileged user, and escalating privileges to root using Python module. So these are the objective of this challenge. And the questions are only two, the user flag and the root flag. So here's the IP, and let's jump in. So basically, the nmap scan revealed, of course, you have to add this to the host file. I have shown this several times in my videos. So basically here we have two open ports, 22 and 80. And from the initial nmap scan, we can see that WordPress is running on the web server 532. Okay, so given that WordPress is running on the machine, the next step is to scan the WordPress. So let's launch a new tab and type sudo wscan --url http jack.thm, and we enumerate for users. Meanwhile, we can browse to explore the WordPress installation. Of course, we're going to type yes, update database, http So this is how the page looks like. Basic blog, nothing in there. Okay, let's go back. Here's the result of nmap, the WP scan. We can see that we have several stuff to find. WP admin, admin Ajax, WP admin, XML RP seems to be enabled. WordPress directory has listing enabled. If you go to uploads, all right, directory browsing, the external WP cron seems to be enabled. WordPress version 5.3.2 identified, insecure. So it seems like the WordPress version is vulnerable. WordPress theme in use online portfolio, and most of the time we want to find if the theme is out of date. So it is out of date. So here we have another attack vector, the out of date theme, the out of date WordPress, and we have some users, Jack, Wendy, Danny, and that's it. So regularly or usually we do first try to find the WordPress plugin. This is the first attack vector we all the time seek to exploit. But in this case, no plugins found, and we have a list of users, and we have out of the theme, out of date WordPress. So since we have found more than three users, and basically we have admin, so I think it's the first option we have to try is to brute force the username and brute force the password. So what we can do here, we can create now a word list, sudo nano users.txt. And we type Jack, Wendy, and Danny. End of file, and we end this. Now the choice of the word list. So basically, if we go to user share word list, Rockio did the work, fast track worked for me. So basically what we're going to do now, we're going to brute force the username and password. How we do that? Sudo wscan -u uppercase, and the word list we have just created, users.txt -p uppercase user share word list fast track, and of course --url http jack.thm, and we run. So we get one successful login or one valid credentials, Wendy, and change later. So if we just hustle in and find it, there will be admin. Okay, so Wendy change later. Okay. Wendy change later. So this has logged us into the WordPress non-administrative panel. As I can see, the user is limited, and actually, indeed, the challenge has pointed that there is a low privileged, you will get low privileged access to WordPress. So not much we can do here. As you can see, no plugins to enumerate. But if you remember, in the WordPress scan, we have found that the WordPress version is kind of out of date. So in order to find an exploit that matches this vulnerable WordPress, so all you have to do is to type search -m without dash m. Okay, WordPress privilege. Okay, so 5. If you remember, the WordPress version was let's go back. See here, the version 5.3.2. So 5.3 privilege escalation plugin bulk delete, but we don't have access to plugins. We can't use this. Let's go down. User meta manager, privilege escalation. User role editor, privilege escalation. User pro, user registration, privilege escalation. But we have access to WordPress actually. We already have this. So the options actually here split between user meta manager and user role editor. Actually, I like this one, and apparently it seems to be Metasploit. So, but you don't need to use Metasploit for that. Let's first examine the exploits and find out. All right. Use WordPress plugin role editor privilege escalation. So basically, if you go down and see the explanation description of that, I haven't read this before. WordPress user role editor plugin prior to v4.25 is lacking an authorization check within its update user profile functionality. Okay, so it seems like it's saying that we need to abuse the user update profile functionality, right? Update function contained within the class user other rules PHP module. Instead of verifying whether the current user has the right to edit other users' profiles, the vulnerable function verifies whether the current user has the rights to edit the user specified by the supply user ID. Since the supply user ID is the current user's ID, this check is always bypassed. This vulnerability allows an authenticated user to add arbitrary user role editor roles to its profile by specifying them via the URE other roles parameter within HTTP post request to the profile module issued when update profile is clicked. Okay, so we can do that via Perp Suite. So let's set up our browser for proxy, advanced, all the way down, manual, apply, okay, and now we start Perp Suite. All right. Next. Geez, I just updated the last week. Close now. Prep Suite pops up updates every day. You get an update. Okay. Proxy. All right. So we're going to disable the interceptor now, and we go to. Let's click on profile. Okay. So here we can update the profile from this page. So let's fire up the interceptor. Intruder. No. Before intercept and update. So what do you have to do here? All you have to do is to add the tag here, which is, where was this tag? By specifying via the other, okay, URE, other roles. Let's take this and append this like that, equal. So here we're going to define the user that we want to impersonate. So in this case, it is administrator, right? Now, let's go back and click on forward. Forward again. So still, okay. I think we're missing on something here. Let's intercept again. Now let's see, I think we are adding the tag in the wrong place. So basically here we have a request, update, action equal update, user ID equal to, and submit equal update profile. Maybe we need to add this here. Let's do that. Equal administrator. And of course, don't forget this. And forward. Okay, now it worked. So basically now we have administrative access. And we can see here the plugins section popped up, and we can enumerate now the plugins installed. Okay, so the next step is to get reversal. Now, how to get reversal? Yeah, I have illustrated this many times. We can use the themes or we can use the plugins. My methodology all the time, I prefer to use an existing plugin or an existing theme without uploading anything of your own, since it is more stealthier. So let's use, so here's the plugin, user role editor, and actually this is the plugin that allowed us to elevate our user from Winzy into an admin. So what we're going to do here, we're going to activate this one and edit on it. Plugin editor, click on I understand, and from here just add one piece of code, like one-liner, reversal, or netcut. Could be netcut, could be PHP whatsoever. يا حاجة اعطيني اللوكيشن. طبعا بعرفه كده، في حدا ما بيعرف بولفار؟ طيب خلاص نتقابل في بولفار في دهندر. في بده يكون في وسع انه في معك لابتوبين انه تيجي معك كمان كاميرات، فشوفي اذا في هنيك بتصور طلبات كده بتكون معزوزه. انا ما عنديش هارد ديسك. لا انا عندي بس عم بقول لك انه هنيك بيكون في كثير عزة دلوقتي. خلص تمام. Okay, so we can start it with PHP or system. Okay, and here we start. We put like one-liner, and let's get this one-liner from Google. Yep, it is my first suite, so I'm gonna stop the proxy from working. Apply, okay. Settings, X. Okay, now one-liner, reverse shell, and C. So let's see what we have here. This one is good. Let's take this one and paste it here. Change the IP to your IP. My IP address is unknown all the time. If config, four five four five, and don't forget to put a semicolon and close the PHP tag. So here, yes, here we close the PHP one-liner code, and before that, we're gonna need to launch a listener. So close the purpose suite. Yes. Okay, clear. nc-lvp45 or sudo rl grep nc-lvp45. Okay, and update. Oh, okay. Update. Enable to communicate with the site for check for fatal errors. Do you think we have something? Well, if we replace the double quotes with single quotes with double quotes. And the same. Okay, what if we went back here, deactivate the plugin? Maybe we need to do that when it is deactivated. And now to go to plugin editor, hello Dolly. And here we add the code. And now it has been updated successfully when it is deactivated. Okay, let's go back and activate. So when we activate, we receive the connection back. So all we have to do now is to upload or upgrade this shell python-c import pty.spawn, and I'm gonna spawn bin bash. Oh, what happened? Yes, so this one, All right, type ID, and we are the web server. Now the next step is to do privilege escalation. So let's first find the user flag, cd home jack cat user.txt, and this is the user flag. So let's copy that and answer the question here. Submit. Boop. Okay. Right. So what do you have to do now? The path to the root user here starts with enumerating the web server directory. So cd var ls cd html. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to HTML. So if you go to WP content, okay, there's nothing in here. Cat WP config, you can find the password for the database. So if you go up, we see here the database password, which is password, and WordPress user is WordPress user. So actually we can connect now to the MySQL database, but we have no interest in doing that since we have got the admin credentials or the admin access to WordPress panel. So the next step here, let's go back a bit, one way back. We have directory called backups. If we go to backups, we see here a private key, ls-la, ls-a. We see here the private key, right? And all of the backup files, as you can see, are under the ownership of root user. So what if we can, but actually you can see here the permission on the private key are a bit loose. So these permissions, we can take advantage of these permissions to download the IDRSA key. And since we have Python on this machine, we can download this directly by opening up a web server by Python. So python -m http.server, no module named http server. So here, let's do this, user bin python 3 -m http server. Okay, now it worked. Now all you have to do is to download the IDRSA by just going here, http jack.thm backups, no, yeah, backups IDRSA, not found. Oh, yeah, so I'm browsing the wrong directory here. We need to type this 8000. File not found. Okay. So we have downloaded the private key. Now all you have to do is to step back to your machine and clear this, cd back, cd downloads. So here we have the private key. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to split this into two halves, split view, cd back, cd back, cd back, cd downloads. My caps lock is too clingy, it doesn't go away. Okay, here the private key. First, we give it the right permissions. 600 ID RSA. And we clear sudo sh-i ID RSA. And we type jack at jack catch. Yes. And now we have access. Let's end this. Oh, no, wait. Let's go back. Activate. Right. Let's go up. Bring this one. So right now we have two shells. One with data and one with Jack. As you can see, Jack is part of Jack group and family. Samba share. Okay. All right. So since it is asking or it is hinting about a Python module, which means that there is a Python script running, right? And inside of this Python script, we have this Python module imported. So we're going to need to look for a Python script, right, that contains this module. So what does that mean? It means that there's a Python script running, right? You need to find it and find the module. So this is a hint about listing the cron tab. What are the jobs running there? So cat etc cron tab. So let's find out. So what do we have here? So I couldn't find any hint or clue about this Python script or this Python module by listing the daily jobs running. What I did here, I just downloaded a tool called PSP164, and it is actually a tool to list the current processes, the running cron jobs in a very detailed fashion. So here is the result. As you can see, the process is running, the cron jobs, the PID of the process, and of course the CMD. And if you go all the way down, we can see something about Python. Here you can see we have a script running, user being Python, opt status checker.py. As I can see, this is the first occurrence. And here we continue down, cron F. And again, it is running here another time. And again from here. Okay, so it seems like it's running every 1 or 2 minutes. So all we have to do here, this is the clue about the Python module. So what we have to do here, we have to go to this script and check if we have permission to write or modify it. So cd opt status ls-la checker. So it is running as root, which is a very good thing, but as you can see, the only person or the only entity that can write or modify this Python script is the owner, which is root. So we can't modify on it, unfortunately. For us, luckily for the sysadmin of the system, in case it was a realistic scenario, of course. So this is a checker py. What does this script do? Checker. So import os.system user being curl -s-i. So it's connecting to the local host and writing an output of the result to an output.log file. So we don't have, actually it is not intended to modify the script. We gotta need to look for the module. So here there is the module that we need to exploit is OS. Okay, so basically we need to find this module. So we can just type locate os.py and we have it here. So here's the path to this Python module. So all we have to do here is to check if you can modify on it, and I think we can. ls-la user lib Python 2.7. Oh. Okay, let's do grep os.py. os.py, the owner is root and the group is family. If you remember, Jack is a member of family, so Jack can write on it, which is excellent. So all we have to do now is to check if we have, do you have nano on this os.py? Great, we have nano. And let's type import socket import pty. And here we type a way or a code to connect to our machine and spawn reverse shard. So let's type s equal socket. Right, s.connect and type our IP. Which is my here my IP. Okay. And then we define the port. Let's put this as double quote, it's better. 4546. Okay. Yep. To s dot file. Let me type this. It was 0, I guess. Yep. Let me copy them back. I think it's better if it's faster. Cancel all this and just paste it. Okay. So save this. And all we have to do is to go to or spawn a listener. Four, five, four, six, right. And indeed, we received the connection back. So all we have to do here is to go to cd root ls cats have the flag. Submit and done. So it was a really great challenge. It was a great machine, many things to learn. Among them is actually this is the first time I root a machine by manipulating a Python module. And we had also the WordPress was a really great machine. I like this. And how about the mitigation? Now, the mitigation for that, first thing is to cut everything from the beginning. So basically, what has led to all of that is the WordPress, the weak password of the user Jack. If it wasn't for this weak password, we wouldn't have been able to access the WordPress admin panel, modify on the or elevate the user to admin, and then get reversal. Even if we had access by some way, if it wasn't for the plugin that was vulnerable, of course. So make sure you update all the plugins, strong passwords, make sure to have great defense, right? Great front lines, great defense at the front lines. That's why you need to update all the plugins, keep the password strong to get, even if it happens, to have some misconfigured files, permissions on your Linux system. If you just safeguard your web applications in a great way by updating the plugins, updating the WordPress in a regular basis, you're going to save yourself time and the obstacles from handling these kind of scenarios. Okay, so that was it, and see you in the next video.